I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with your feeder flash for Tuesday, July the 25th, where we're looking back at Monday here and seeing what the cattle and feed report did to the market. Really put everything on its ear, and over the weekend everybody was worried a lot about what was going to happen. And we wonder what really went wrong. Nothing's any different than it was last week. It's just that the analysts missed the report. And the analysts, there's a group of analysts that have always been looked upon to give their estimations of what the cattle and feed reports are going to be, what our inventory reports are going to be, and things like that. They've got some models set up in there. Some of them are from academia and probably have their graduate assistants doing that kind of stuff. Other ones have not tweaked their model in quite some time, and some of them may not really have anything but charts to look at. But the thing is, these analysts continue to miss the placement numbers. They're just shooting a dart at a wall. They absolutely have no idea where they're getting their numbers, what it's going to come from, how to look any better. We have analysts that predict things all the time, just like on our crop reports. And I guarantee you, most of those analysts don't know what a billion bushels of corn looks like. Nobody does. To be truthful, probably a lot of those crop analysts don't know what a 200 bushel crop looks like in the field. But they've got to get better. If the whole industry is going to look upon them and look upon what that report is in relation to what they estimated it to be, they've got to get better. Yeah, they're hitting the marketings pretty good. USDA tells you exactly how many cattle they slaughtered every day. How hard is it to get the marketings? Your inventory numbers, they've found a way to get those, maybe even doing aerial pics and things like that to see how many empty pens there are. But the models are working on the inventories, but it's not on the placements. You know, how hard was it to go in there and add up all the cattle auction receipts for that week of June? Most of those cattle are going to be placed into a feed yard somewhere. That would be a placement. That would have got them 2 or 3% closer to what it actually was than what they guessed. It's just it's very frustrating, but the analysts have got to get better. You look at the board on Monday, of course it responded down sharply. Feeder cattle August contract down the limit, $4.50, 148.45, which is really right in there tight what an 800-pound steer ought to be bringing. But you look at the live cattle contract for October, it was down to $3 limit, ending the day at 114.40, which is actually higher than what the spot August is. But your weighted average for last week's fat cattle trade on live steers, 119.33, down 18 cents. Your dressed steers averaged 118.74, down 32 cents. So basically your market was steady, which was a great victory. We're lucky that we got so much of them sold before that report come out, but heard that a lot of people were still getting that bid and still selling cattle after the report come out, and a big nice movement in the 5-area feeding region of 116,400 head. That's the best we've had here for several weeks. Box beef cutout values on Monday ended the day higher, both of them for the first time in a long time, sharply higher on selects. So maybe we have found some support. We finally got those cutout values down there where some of these end users are coming in there and buying up a bunch of product, and that's helping. So that would be a big shot in the arm if we have got to our seasonal low in your box beef cutout values. You look at the feeder cattle markets on Monday. Oklahoma City at 4,000 head. Feeders there $4 to $7 lower. Very tough. Some of them up to $10 lower, the big heavy feeders. Didn't have a very good test of calves. Some of those called $4 lower. Joplin had an extremely light run. People were scared that were planning on maybe selling their cattle, and because they were tired of the heat. It was still hot early in the week, but not quite as bad. Going to be a problem. They would like to wait till it cools off to sell their cattle, but people just got scared. That's why we didn't have big receipts on Monday. They didn't know how bad it was going to be. Joplin had about 2,700. That's the lightest run they've had for quite a while. Yearlings there actually not too bad, steady to $3 lower, and calves are kind of uneven with some of your steer calves quoted quite a bit higher. Look at some quotes through the day. A market that is not reported anywhere other than maybe the local paper if the sale barn decides to do it. But a sale that a guy up there in northeast Missouri has gotten a hold of the last several years and knew the auction business and has really started to get some runs in there. He's sitting in a good spot, especially this time of year and when you have your seasonal demand from your farmer feeders. But good sale there in Kirksville, Missouri, which you could throw a rock to Illinois or Iowa, either one from there. But friend there of mine, Tracy Switzer Thompson, she was at that sale. Like I said, it's not quoted anywhere, but you're going to see it quoted here on your feeder flash the old-fashioned way. But look at a load of steers there, weighed 838 at 153. Another load weighed 858 at 152 1/4. You see some other quotes on there, especially those light heifers bringing a big price there, but that's pretty impressive on the load lot deals. You look at Beef Market Central, some individual quotes on Monday. Tri-State Livestock, McCook, Nebraska at 2 o'clock in the afternoon sold 64 head, a big string of 940-pound steers at 148. That's an impressive price on a day that's overshadowed by bearish cattle and feed report. Bluegrass Stockyards East in Mount Sterling, Kentucky. I tell you what, it's just continuing to amaze me how these markets out east that a lot of us were thinking we're just selling them one at a time is selling some cattle, load lots of cattle, and selling them as high as they are anywhere. But you look at Bluegrass there at 9 o'clock on Monday morning, 61 head of steers weighed 802 at 153. That's your feeder flash for Tuesday.